Well, hi there. Finally, I've got one of these Five Nights at Freddy's McFarlane brick sets. It's parts and service. I got this for my boy's birthday. It was extremely hard to find. I said to my son, let's set this up. We don't want to be distracted by other toys, and that's what he set up for me. Didn't I say we're going to focus on the McFarlane set and nothing else?
But Dad, the other toys are cool too.
But hang on a second. I can see a lot more stuff here than just Five Nights at Freddy's. I can see Rick and Morty stuff here. Isn't this an adult show? What are you doing with this stuff?
No, it's not adult show. That's an adult show.
The Walking Dead? Well, yes, that is an adult show, I believe. From what I can work out, Rick and Morty is a bit of an adult show. Maybe my audience can have their say on that. These plush here were $20. Figures like that are $25. That Five Nights at Freddy figure there. The one with Bonbon. It's very cool. But I'm struggling to get my head around how plushes like this can be worth $20. Mind you, they're probably far less expensive overseas. Can you please take the Rick and Morty stuff away, please? Because I really want to focus on the McFarlane set. Please, Rick and Morty stuff away. What we'll do, I'll negotiate a deal here with you. And that guy as well, thank you. We'll take a look at this set here. And we'll also sneak in a look at the 8-bit Five Nights at Freddy little toys that we found. Or should I say brick sets. Which are sort of cool. Okay, that's my quarantine of Rick and Morty stuff. What was the name of this guy here?
Pee-pee.
I would have had to have beeped that out. I'm sorry, my audience, but the name of that character there is going to be too much for today's YouTube. Okay, I'll just gently push this aside. Okay, we're getting there. I just want to see that Five Nights at Freddy's set there all by itself. Maybe get the 8-bit Wonderments together in a cluster over there and get these very cool guys over to the side. Okay, I've got some normality back here and I've got the table cleaned up like I like to see it. That's the front of the box there. Five Nights at Freddy's Parts and Service by McFarlane. Excellent brick company from what I can work out. That's the back of the box and it's alluring you to other sets here. I have not been able to get these other sets yet. There's a bit of a... Well, I won't bore you with the story about the pre-ordering that I've been doing for these and then the pre-order gets cancelled. Very, very tricky sets to find in Australia. It was $45 for me. Comes with 209 parts. And the box says it comes with 2 figures inside, but the reality is you actually get 3. Another thing we noticed is even though the picture shows those heads there, it doesn't mean you actually get those heads in the set. If I divide that $45 by 209, it works out that each brick is basically 21.5 cents. I hope the chicken did the right calculation. Chicken, you're fired! Over there, Rick and Morty. Anyway, it works out that that set there is about the same price per piece as a Lego set. Now, there's a couple of conundrums about this set and the theme of this set that I sort of trying to get my head around. The same with the Rick and Morty stuff. It says, before we look at the build book, it says 12 years and up. Yet, this toy is the sort of thing that plays out for children that are much younger than 12. So, do you think this set is suitable for your age? And it's obviously not 12.
Yes, because on YouTube I saw it and it said age is 8 but in Australia it says age is 12. What the
I've got to beep that out. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, he's got a Rick and Morty moment. There are some aspects to this little brick set that are totally amazing and un-Lego-like, and there are other aspects which are, well, very Lego-like. To say that this is like Lego, yes, it's a little bit like Lego. The build book is sort of like Lego, but sort of not. It reminded me of a Mega Blocks, or Mega Bricks, or Mega Brand, whatever they call it now, build. A lot of grey and black bricks in this, but it does sort of ease you up into building this. There are some nice detailed bricks in this brick set as well. I think that's one of the traits of McFarlane. Maybe Lego could get some little hints about detailing of bricks and things, like specialised bricks from these people. And it starts to build up what is a very, very nice looking zone with some very specialised pieces as well. And I tell you what, I think it looks very awesome. Very different to what Lego do, but hey, nothing wrong with that. One of the big differences I found was the way the figures are done in this set. You can see the way they're built up there, by the diagram there, and all the little bits and bobs, and there's a few things that I like about it, and a couple of things I dislike. There is the Shadow Freddy. Have I got that name right?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's very sort of dark and gloomy looking, but hey, that's the way children like it. There's a lot of little hidden details in this as well. And there it is up against a Lego minifigure. You can see it is on a totally different sort of scale. Okay, this is Ignited Freddy, one of the figures in this McFarlane set. Many aspects of this is amazing. There are a few things that I didn't like. I saw my son play with this. He was turning it into an Ignited Freddy. He was adding a piece in there, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it does things here that LEGO minifigures just don't do. It's got detailing that you just do not see on LEGO minifigures. It is extremely nice, but there's a little thing about this that I don't like, and there are some bits here, and we found on Foxy that the legs... Well, I had to basically change the bricks to make them fit, because we found things were a little bit too loose, and even to me, some of these components here are very loose, and they come off far too easily. So maybe McFarlane need to do a little bit more work on the way things fit together. Even this leg here, it's just a loose fit. But nevertheless, it is an excellent looking minifigure. I shouldn't say minifigure because that's a bit of a LEGO term. Well, just say plastic brick-ish figure. Excellent looking indeed. Lovely detailing. This is the second of the minifigures in this set. My son said it's called a Withered Foxy, or he said it may be called an Old Foxy. Maybe the audience has got better names than that, or the right name. The problem with this one, I thought I repaired this, but maybe I've got to do some more repair, is I put some of that Bondic stuff up inside here because these feet, well, out of box, even though the foot's back to front there, literally never fitted up inside there. I don't know whether we were the only people who had this problem. It's barely fitting on now. Maybe this other one's a bit better. Yeah, it is. Okay, this section down here, the leg department needs some more work. Maybe McFarlane Toys know about this problem. Yes, nicely detailed, isn't it? Very, very nicely detailed. The sort of thing you just don't see on a LEGO minifigure. And what you can do, and I'm going to do something a little bit radical and stupid here. There you go, you can make a little custom figure like that. And that's what I saw my son doing all the time. My son's at the side making a Ignited Freddy for me, but this is like the third figure in this set, the surprise figure in a sense. It's an endoskeleton, and from these little components here you can mix and match them onto other things and make something rather cool, but I think that thing there looks totally awesome. Even though it looks awesome, there was one problem that we had with this, and there's a very, very fragile jaw component on this that I had to fix on the first day. And my son is just assembling for me the Ignited Shadow Freddy from different components. So my son's a wonderment of build here. He's made an Ignited Shadow Freddy here. He's taken like the jaw piece, the very fragile jaw piece from the endoskeleton, added it in there. And down here, is that Foxy's feet that he's put there?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, look at that. So it's an Ignited Shadow Freddy. No jump scares in this video because little children get very scared. Well, that jump scare just gets this video flagged now. Let me show you the piece that I had to repair right at the start on the first day. It's a very fragile piece. I'm just pulling apart this. You can see the components coming away from this. It's this piece here. And I used super glue to repair this. And let me come in closer to show you how fragile and tiny this piece is. Fixing this was quite tricky. There's not much plastic holding the jawbone here to this plastic ring, and I put super glue here and a couple of layers on it to repair this very important piece. And I'll quickly show you how I fixed Foxy's legs here. Mind you, this one is still a bit loose, so you don't see that sort of looseness on the Lego pieces. One thing I've noticed, the other one I think is okay. This one needs a bit more fixing, and what I did, and I'm trying to do this without cutting the camera and being too sloppy, is I just got this Bondic stuff in there. Okay, gooby and being a bit rushed here because I'm trying to do it as fast as I can in front of camera. And what this hopefully will do, will thicken up the base part there. And the way to set this off is with the UV light on the other side. Okay, maybe I put way too much on, but hey, if I've got too much on, I can always take some off. One thing about plastic is it's easy to take bits of plastic away, but once you've taken it away, it's actually very hard to add it back on unless you've got a smart product like this. And it only takes 4 or 5 seconds to zap that, so it's hard. I'm working very rushed here, and if I come in and get this piece on here, hopefully, with that extra plastic added, it's going to be a nice tight fit. And it's on there, so it is now nice and tight. You can hear the way it goes on and off, unlike it was before, and I can just fix that round in the right direction there. Yes, I wonder who else is having troubles with the way these legs fit on these figures. That's the product I just used then. It's got the UV setting resin in here. This side here, you squeeze it out nice and carefully, and a UV light that sets it off on this end. That wasn't an ad for Bondic. I paid for that product myself. I can't think of another way of adding things to plastic like that fashion. Maybe you know a way. I certainly don't. This set comes with other heads because it's parts and service. Maybe my son can explain what exactly parts and service means. There's a Chica head there and a normal Foxy head. There we go there. Although, it's a bit weird because these ones, you get like a double jaw thing going on there. So maybe it's always going to look better if we go back to our Withered Foxy. I'm just setting up the little playset here. And also notice that we got those two heads there. Mind you, the box shows a different set of heads. I think my son really would have preferred to have Bonnie instead of another Foxy. Okay, I'm going to take a look at the playset here. I'm going to get my son to talk nice and loudly while I show you bits on here, because he's going to explain to you what parts and service is all about. Okay, start talking.
Parts and service is a thing in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and that's where all the Withered animatronics are. Sometimes when Withered Bonnie's gone, it gets replaced by Shadow Freddy, and he looks cool, plus I like the detail in that bit. Plus, parts and service means like extra bits, like if like an animatronic is broken, they go to parts and service and fix themselves.
Now my son added this Lego minifigure here as a security guard on this playset, and now I'm going to have a few words to say of what I think about this quite miraculous and highly detailed toy. Maybe the first thing to do is get the endoskeleton guy out of here, because I want to show you the door working. Oh, a bit untidy, wasn't it? Okay, it's got a nice functioning little door there, which isn't falling apart as I'm playing with it. And if I come along and open the door here, we can start to see inside a little cage room where you can store your parts. So maybe normally, if you were playing with this playset, you'd have your little spare parts area set up something like that. So I might close up that cage before whatever in there escapes, and I think what you find here is what you're going to also see on the Walking Dead sets. In fact, I think there might be a bit of crossover bits and bobs. There's some bits hanging here from the plumbing. I think it's plumbing, okay. And if I remove these critters here, we'll start to see some of the finer details of this little playset. Come on, Foxy, come on. And if we look carefully at the brick detailing on the back wall there, we can start to see degradation and filthiness that you're never ever going to find on a Lego set. There's a small exit area here. It's got a very cool looking exit sign that pops off a little bit too easily. It's got a door that functions quite nicely. And maybe one of the nicer features to this set is the black and white checkered pattern on the floor there, which has also got a nice texture going on through it. One curiosity about the build, we ended up with these extra floor tiles here, which I don't know whether I didn't put them in the right spot or why I've got extra ones, but you can see the texture on them if I do that with my little fingies. So I'll come in and reassemble this, and I can tell you what, my son has played with this endlessly since he had it in the house. Just get Foxy in there, hopefully standing up, because it has got little things on the feet. Get the Shadow Freddy there. I nearly said another word there, which was going to be totally wrong. Once again, I think the feet are playing up on me. Lego security guard can go to the doorway here and lay down. He's tired. And I'll get the heads in here next. Yeah, I actually like this a lot. There's a few things that I don't like about it, but man, oh man, very impressive brick set. I think the best truth is going to come from my son about parts and service. What's your thoughts about that brick set?
It's really good because with the animatronics, you can take its mask off and see its endoskeleton.
I saw you doing that a lot. We're going to take a very quick look at the 8-bit Five Nights at Freddy's, McFarlane, blah blah. If you get all of them, you can make one called The Brother. Is that meant to be scary? There are the ones you got to try and find. They're not blind bags because, well, on the front there shows you what you're going to make. And again, quite strangely, they're marked for 12 years plus. This is the constructions. As my son pointed out to me, it says Series 2. We never saw Series 1 where I live, because we live in a faraway, dark area of the world that nobody wants to go to. That's how you build these critters up. They're a very simple build in a sense. And there's more constructions on the inside there. Now, when you saw these in store, you got very excited. Why?
Because, like, when I saw these, I knew they were from Five Nights at Freddy's because, like, they look like the ones from the Pixel games.
You mean there's a Pixel game of Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah, like it's...
Why?
Because there's a secret ending and mini games. A secret ending.
I think whoever's behind Five Nights at Freddy's must be a very wealthy person.
Plus,
because...
it is a true story.
Yeah, right. If it's a true story, well, I'm, you know, Natalie Tran from Community Channel. This one here, okay, who's that?
Crying Child.
That's the one you were crying for the most, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need to look at these very much, but he actually lost a leg on that the other day, and he was starting to cry inside. Who's that? You tell me who these are.
Freddie plush.
Freddie plush. Why? I just keep saying why. I wasn't that crash hot in getting this. I think that's Bonnie plush.
Bonnie plush?
Yeah, I can almost...
Chica plush?
Chica. They're very... well, they're 8-bit, okay?
The Brutta?
Yeah, well, that's the one you make. when you get all the sets, but it doesn't come with a base. Hello? Okay, and this one here?
The bite.
The bite. So he's got the little boy there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Is that like end game?
Well, if you're close enough, you'll get to the game.
And this one, who's this one?
That one is the Golden Freddy plush.
Golden Freddy plush, hey?
Which turns evil and is a ghost.
I think I've heard enough. I don't know, it's $6, maybe they're $3 overseas. I think $6 is a little bit ritzy for what is going on here. There's not much going on with these toys here. Mind you, I suppose if you get all these guys here, you get to make up the brother. But for $6, you know what you can buy for $6 in Australia? Yes, and you could feature Thomas in here somewhere. You could actually go and buy one of these. Now, which one would you prefer to have? One of these or one of those? I'm going to show you which one I'm going to prefer to have. One of those right there. Well, I knew I could feature Thomas in this video here somewhere. Maybe that's going to save this video, maybe not. Which one of these 8-bit critters do you like the most? Just pick one out, please.
Dun-dun.
Oh, okay. Explain to me why.
Because this is amazing.
Okay, well, we would have had to have beeped that out, but obviously my son likes this one right here.
Amazing.
We've been playing a little game in this video, just tricking the audience in a sense, and I wonder if anyone picked up what we're up to, hey? I'm just doing little tests with the way YouTube works as well. Ballora, this is the sister location figures that he got these for his birthday. They were a little bit tricky to find. Some people are telling me they're very hard to find. That's Baby. I think I'm getting my head around the name of these. That's
Funtime Freddy. They're really not to find. I can just walk to your house and boom, you can unpack me.
Okay, that's, I think, one of the all-time great ones they've made. I think the joints in these are better than the first lot of toys that we were getting. He's played with those for quite some time now, and we're not having troubles. And he also showed me you can actually mix all the bits together, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, just putting that back together. It's not broken, that's just the way they play. So if you buy these 4 critters here, you end up with the parts to make this one. Dun dun dun! Right here. What's it called, this one?
Ennard.
Ennard.
Big Ennard.
And what I saw you doing was taking the arm and bits off this and putting them on the other ones here. That's what I saw you doing a lot. And it's doing a dab for some reason, isn't it?
Yeah, dab police arrested, now destroy you. Beep, beep, beep.
Okay,
beep you.
I think we've seen enough of those. Okay, a bit of a challenge for the audience here. It's a challenge for me as well, right up the end of the video. Obviously, I've got 2 plush FNaF toys in front of me here. I believe this Nightmare Freddy here is a real one. I know the store that I picked it up at sells real McCoy toys. It has a tag like this. You can see I paid $20 for it. It also has the tag on the back here that to me says Five Nights at Freddy's. But seeing tags like that can often be misleading because knockoff toys can do fairly good tags as well. That's the back of this toy. You can see the stitching on it and everything. A nice close look at the way it's been finished off and detailed in the front here. Okay, it looks pretty fine and dandy to me. I'm pretty sure this is the real McCoy toy, and we'll look at the tag here as well. It's a bit crinkled up because it's been at home. My son's been playing with it. I tried to get him to keep the tags on the toys, and that's important, especially when I want to make comparisons. This is the back of the tag as well, taking note of the colour, and also take note it says Made in China. Yes, okay, so I believe this is the real McCoy. I paid $20 for it, as you can see. Okay, got a good idea of what that looked like. Now, this is one that I picked up, let's just say in a different retailer, which has sold lots and lots of very strange toys. I'm letting you look over this toy at the front first. Yeah, that's the back here. Okay, coming down to its little back side. And let's take a look at this tag here. There's a nice close look at the tag there. What have you got to say about that? It actually reads fairly similar to the tags on the other toy as well. And maybe another place we should look, and most importantly, is this bigger tag up here. In particular, taking note of the colour of this tag here. Okay, the way it's been finished off. Taking a look at the other side here. Okay, and this one here says, well, made in Vietnam. I'm back looking at what I believe is the real Freddy here. That's the real tag, I hope. And I've just put the other tag right up next to it there. Hopefully you can see there's quite a different shade of colour going on between those 2 tags. With the tags flipped over there, I'm looking at the writing Five Nights at Freddy's. On one tag it looks nice and crisp, yet on the other one it's a little bit blurry. And because I have the luxury of touching the cards here, I feel this one here is on an inferior cardboard, whereas this one here feels like a thicker set card. So with this Freddy here, I'm certain this is a real one because I know where I purchased it from. I paid $20 and I'm confident that's a real Five Nights at Freddy's toy. My query to the audience is, with the evidence I showed you, is this a real or a fake Five Nights at Freddy's plush? With what I see going on, maybe it's time to take a very, very careful look at what you've been purchasing online, especially if it's Five Nights at Freddy's toys. Didn't I say I want to focus on the set alone and nothing else?
No.
Isn't it an adult show?
No.
These plush here were $20. No. Why do we have to have that going across the table? I said no more Rick and Morty. It's called Parts and Service. You get 2 minifigures in it. Anyway, it works out that set there works out. There's a lot of grey and black bricks in this. And I will show you very quickly what I was doing, although it needs more work, doesn't it? I was getting that. That's the product that just used there. Bondic. This. And also, I've got another. Now it's stuck on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now we've got another Foxy Head. Now this is the. Because it's like a double-mouthed thing, and also it's all falling apart in front of me here. And I can't think of any other way of making things a bit bigger, plasticky. And if I open the door here, well, it'll focus on some blah 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 blah. So in a normal situation, you may have your little parts. Blah 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 blah. The exit area here also has these bricks, what would you call them, and even the exit sign looks extremely cool, and yes, the back door here is a functioning
thing.
Got one called The Brother. These are the ones you got to try and find and collect. Which one of these does my son like the most? Can you show me the one you like the most?
This.
Why do you like that the most?
Because it is beep beep amazing. Beep amazing. Just beep amazing.